Good morning, gamers. Good morning, nerdy.
Good
Hello.
morning.
How are we today? How are we feeling? How's
We're
life?
feeling fantastic. We're feeling fantastic. Ready to watch some epic Minecraft. Ready to watch some fantastic speed runs. Maybe some of them will go fast.
That is the goal, I think, at least for the players, going faster and faster every season, trying to beat their opponent and stuff. That's the goal of the bracket, and the best Minecraft player throughout these next couple weekends will be deemed our season 5 playoffs champion. So that's some very exciting stuff, nerdy. Very exciting stuff. We see some familiar faces in our bracket. We see some new faces in our bracket as well. Speaking of the bracket, let's throw it over to the bracket. That was a very unintentional, amazing transition. Um, Nerdy, this is our bracket. What can you tell? What looks different about it this season? What does it look like? What's going on here?
Well, obviously, the big change here is the format. We've got 4 different games right off the bat, rather than having 8, right? So we don't necessarily know, for example, immediately uh, who Big Monty's going to go against. Whereas before, we always, would immediately know everyone's first game. So we start off with 4 matches, and then from there we're going to be picking based on the seeds who is, like as you said, a sort of team captain system to pick who faces who, or I guess like a reverse team captain system. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, so big changes there to the format. Good news for chat is that more games. I feel like effectively, or at least more best of fives. And so that's very exciting. And we've got, yeah, a lot of. So we're going to be doing all these 4 round 1 games today, all the 4 round 2 games tomorrow, and then the rest next weekend.
Yeah, and like you said at the end of the stream today, once we know the winners of all 4 of our round 1 games, we're going to actually have all the round 2 players in call with us one at a time. They're gonna pick who they want to play. So Manji's gonna be able to watch all the games today. I see him in chat right now, taking notes, looking at perspectives, seeing who's on their game today. And Manji's gonna try to pick the person who won that potentially was the least on their game for the easiest potential match tomorrow. And then Automat's going to be able to pick from the 3 remaining winners from today. Beef Salad's going to be able to pick from the remaining 2. And then Rao's going to be stuck with potentially the hardest matchup going into tomorrow, depending on who wins, depending on how that shakes out. But it's going to be good. It's going to be some good content. We're going to get the runners in call, talk about that. And yeah, I mean, format change, just trying to see some more good Minecraft. Like you said, not more like games, because it is still single elimination. You do lose, you're out, but it is all best of fives now. We used to do best of threes all for that first round, those 8 matches, and now we have best of five. So gonna be a little harder to maybe fluke a win. Get 1 seed where the opponent dies, then you just have to get 1 in the next 2. They have to play 2 perfect seeds. 1 zombie piglin, 1 magma cube in the fortress isn't gonna ruin your playoff chances as much, right? So some pretty good stuff there. But that's basically all we have for format changes this season. It's still the same rank. It's still the same seed pick ban process. It's still the same seed filters. At the end of the day, nerdy, Dragon still has to die. Runners still have to get through the end portal. That's all
True.
that's all we're looking for from them.
So true. And yeah, I mean, I am very excited for this new format. I definitely think it's going to be interesting. We'll have to see how the players think. We'll have to see, if it is a better format. But I like change. I like seeing something new, something fresh, and I think it's gonna, spice things up a bit.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I still think we're gonna get the best player to win this season. I think we have had that every season, and I think regardless, the best player will be able to seep through the cracks, for lack of a better reference, euphemism, whatever. And I think they will be able to, put it all on the table and get that W, get that season 5 playoffs win, the little gold trophy next to their profile. So very exciting stuff. But I think it's enough yapping. Let's get into our player spotlights for Vstrid versus Kenan for our first match of the season 5 playoffs. Let's see what these stats are looking like. And nerdy, the first thing that sticks out to me, that is 2,000 ranked games in
Very
one
good.
season.
Very good. That's that's what I'm talking about right there.
That's absurd amount of games. So it's I think it was 4 months. So let's just say 500 games a month. So that's like 15 a day. And let's say you're averaging 15 minutes a game. Well, let's say you're averaging like, dude, that's like 5 hours ranked a day, maybe. Because the queue times too at top elo are crazy, you know? Like sometimes you rock up into a ranked player stream, and you see like ranked queue waiting for match 2 hours or something, and you're like, oh my god, like so. Even being able to play 2,000 games.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But
and you know that's how you improve. We've seen Vstrid before, but maybe this is the tournament for them. Maybe this is the tournament where we see a Vstrid W. You never know.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, best practice, in my opinion. Not saying this is the correct opinion, but I'm always like play more, you know. And 2,000 ranked games in a season.
Yeah,
that's very play more to me. 11:22 ranked average time is a very good ranked average time. I guarantee you, if you put that ranked average time in the season 1 or the season 2 or maybe even the season 3 stats, it'd be the number 1 ranked average time. But I think the later we're gonna get into the bracket, when we start seeing the averages for top 8 players, top 4, there's some pretty good Minecrafters. So 11:22, very up there, but I think we're going to see some 10xx's later. And again, all depends on Kenan's ranked average, but at the same time, it is just an average, Nerdy. They are just playing 1 seed. So your average can be 5 minutes, but if you can't beat that seed in 15, then you're going to lose. So it is just an average at the end of the day. So let's go to Kenan's player spotlight. See, is there 2,000 ranked games? No. 600 though, and basically a 50-50 win rate. Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, qualifying through the ranked qualifier is not easy, I will say. And so, you know, kind of already maybe having a little bit warming up to the whole format of, you know, playing under a tournament setting. Not necessarily the same format, sorry, it is very different. But I just mean, you know, having to play under pressure. I feel like Kenan now has some experience, not necessarily as much as Vstrid, but you know, more recently at least. And so that I think is absolutely good. Honestly, like fairly comparable best and average times, just like you said, a much worse win rate and much less games played.
Yeah, and this is a big enough sample size where I think the average time does like matter for both these players. You know, it's not an automat situation where you see him in the season 3 bracket with like 5 games played, just winning the quals. So 600 and 2,000. So these averages do mean something, right? If Vstrid is going to be consistently 30 seconds faster than Kenan here, it does mean something. But again, 30 seconds is just, it's one bad pearl or like a fifth of one death. Like if someone dies, it's still just kind of basically over. So the runners still do need that consistency, especially in the pressure of the bracket. When you know, if you there's no second chances. You lose in the bracket, we don't have a double elimination. You're out. You got to wait 4 months for the next season. So the pressure could get to them, and we did see Kenan fight through that pressure last weekend, like you said, in the qualifiers and make it into our bracket. So could be a little edge for him having that very recent tournament experience. So we'll have to see. Very interesting match potentially, but like we always do in the ranked playoffs bracket, we are going to throw it over to the seed pick bands, Nerdy. We love this segment. We love this part. Again, if you're new here, or don't really fully understand the format, need a little reminder, we do have 5 different overworld types. Nerdy, can you list them off for me? It's your little pop quiz.
Oh man, here we go. We got Desert Temple, of course, which Kenan has banned here. We've got Shipwreck, which Vstrid has banned. Buried Treasure, so that means that we've got, of course, a Village, and we've got a wait,
I'll get there.
Village and Burn Portal, of course. Sorry. I don't know why I needed to.
Guys, it's 8 a.m.
It got me.
It's 8 a.m. Nerdy got it.
It's an 8 a.m. moment. I'm sorry for taking a while, but
you got there. It's okay. It's okay.
We got there eventually.
We have 5 seed types, and the runners actually do get to ban and pick those to change how they play the overworld. And we've seen it matter a lot in some seeds. We've seen it matter literally not at all in other seeds. But it's just a way that, you know, the higher seeded player, which is Vstrid in this case, Kenan did come from the qualifiers, gets to ban second and pick first. And you can't pick an overworld seed type until you've used all 5. So see, it says banned until map 4 there on the bottom left. So we're not going to be able to see a Desert Temple or a Shipwreck seed until potentially Game 4, Game 5. But as we know, Nerdy, if it's a 3-0, we're not even getting to Game 4 or Game 5. So that's where these bans can really come into play. If you're really uncomfortable, you know, Desert Temple, food situations, room portal, speed situations, uncomfortable with mapless, you know, and this day and age, you know, if you're not an any percent player on the side, or you know, just don't like your numbers, then you just ban one bad C type. You could win in 3, and that's it. So,
Absolutely.
what do you
I
think
mean,
about these specific pick bans, though? I heard you mention the Desert Temple
yeah,
bans.
I
What do
mean,
you think?
banning Desert Temple is kind of, I mean, it was like what we saw entirely season one. It's definitely been less popular to ban it as we've moved forward. It's funny. I feel like each season has had like a unique, focused ban. Like I remember one season it was always shipwrecks. One season it was always desert temples. One season, I think we saw either last season or the season before it, if I recall, there was like a buried treasure hating season. So it's just funny. Like there's always kind of this. There's always kind of these like metas, I guess, that kind of evolve. And what I see here from Kenan is, you know, the Desert Temple, as we've talked about before, just has the most variance, the most options. Definitely the slowest of all of them on average. You know, you have to go through a lava pool. You don't necessarily get all the iron you need, and it's just slow and but because of that slowness, it requires the runners to make more decisions. There's less of an obvious path forward, which sort of makes it a little bit scarier, I think, and a little bit higher chance of making a mistake, especially if you're nervous. So I think removing it here from Kenan makes sense. Then the Vstrid, the shipwreck ban. My understanding of shipwrecks is that the reason why runners don't like them is that if you feel like you're faster than the other player, you can lose a lot of time just by you know, going the wrong direction or maybe going to the wrong shipwreck, or sometimes there's like another buried treasure. I mean, and just shipwreck in general, just being less consistent with the food and everything, just makes them kind of, I don't know, just kind of a weaker version of the BT. And so I think that's
Yeah,
the primary motivation for banning those kinds of things.
yeah. In my head, like at least, why would you play the Shipwreck seed when you can play the BT seed?
And
Is
look at
sort of the
this.
idea. Um, but the BT seed still does have some of the issues in the sense that you can just miss the ravine.
Yeah,
But honestly, like it's very weird because BT is one of the fastest and most consistent overworld types. I mean, only second I think to Room Portal, but
yeah,
it is possible to just have like a no kelp ocean where you go somewhere that looks like a real ravine and it's not. Your opponent goes the other way, and then bam, you're just there goes like
right,
40 seconds, and that's a crazy amount of time in the overworld when it's, you know, a minute and a half for the whole thing. So
right.
gonna see if both these runners can find the ravine. But other than that, it's basically very standard overworld. I mean, not much to do on the island to sort of separate yourself from the other runner. Just very standard stuff that we're gonna see.
And here we can see both runners going for the gold axe, which I like to see. It's always funny when people use their gold in the same way. I feel like that's always a sign of it being a good play. What are your thoughts on that decision there? I feel like for me the default is just always going for gold pick, or you know, gold. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
gold boots or something if you can. But when you have three, I feel like I want to either save it for trading with piglins or go for a gold pick. But I suppose if you already have all those blocks from the TNT, it's probably less important. What are your thoughts on that gold axe decision here from both runners?
Yeah, I mean they do have a diamond sword, so Golux is fine. I think in this like situation is
Ooh,
basically sort of guaranteed like what you're crafting, just not enough like spare iron. And there's no way you're making a wood axe,
right.
but there are definitely situations where you can have different crafts coming out from the runners. Like if you have um I don't know, let's say like 100 iron for like demonstrational purposes. But then you also have like 5 gold. Like, are you gonna pre-craft a pickaxe? Are you gonna pre-craft a helmet? Or are you gonna do nothing with it? Because there is definitely like value in all of those things in the right situations, right? Like if you rock up to a bridge, you're gonna want that helmet. If you rock up to some bad terrain, you're gonna want the pickaxe. But in some bastions, you want that distraction gold as well. So very varied. But in this seed specifically, just not enough iron to make a good axe. So gold is just there. But Kenan in the overworld missed it a little bit, but did find a ravine slower than Vstrid, but seems to have caught up most of the time getting into this bash. And this is a double, triple stables, and Kenan's basically starting these trades at about the same time. So maybe some better terrain nav, maybe just some better decision making starting the Bastion route, but Vstrid almost dying in this triple as well, and it might even be. I don't think it's triple triple.
Here we go.
10 chunk fortress, I think. Looking at Kenan's Pyre. So we'll see. I mean, both runners going to be getting, again, same exact trades in the same
Yep.
order, same stuff in the chests, all that jazz. So
From my favorite Bastion. I love
ooh,
stables. And oh
Kenan
no, Kenan is in a tough situation here. This is not looking good. Good
saved.
clutch to save it, but that, I mean, that's a lot of time loss right there. That is a lot of time loss. Hopefully, at least, Piglins are trading right now at least, but
Yeah.
just not a good situation for Kenan. Hopefully able to make it out of here. Good, getting some obby. Looks like
Oh,
we see, oh
still
man,
one heart is safe
sketchy
up here.
situation. And is that
And
no, just 3 salmon left
yeah, that's what's like sticking out to me in this situation is gonna be the lack of food from
for
Kenan
both.
in this
For
seed.
both though. I think
Yeah.
Vstrid
Vstrid
also. Oh
did get
no.
very low. Low
Speaking of,
again. Wow.
just
Both these
one?
runners, yeah.
Both of them just
Extremely
struggling.
perilous situations in these bastions. Yeah, wow. But again, they're both alive on our screen still. Could be worse for both runners.
Yeah, it's just
And
not a
ironically,
good
it's still
situation.
very close because they did both take a crazy amount of damage. They're both going to run into the same food problems that the other runner is going to run into.
Right.
And then, dude, there's no good terrain to this fort. Let's see. Can't really go through the wall.
Oh
Looks like
man, yeah.
Kenan is trying. I think
Oh
Kenan literally
man.
is just gonna go through the wall. Vstrid finding some
7 hearts
lower
lost.
terrain.
Looking for
Oh
food in
yeah,
the
Vstrid's
chest,
fully
maybe.
fully out of
Nothing.
food now too as well. Wow. Yeah. Soul
Man,
Sand
okay.
Hoglins, but oh that
I,
there it is.
I was just gonna say,
Wow.
oh
I saw the skeleton on the right and I was like, are you gonna dispatch that skeleton first on the way to the
yeah.
Hoglins? And then the answer was no, the buildup came and the arrow was there, and that was it.
It just,
And
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Kenan's situation here either. This is
yeah,
Sultan Valley, 5 hearts,
we're on
no
four and a
food.
half. We have no food. You are hit once to a wither skeleton, you're dead. There's a big magma cube. I think it fell off the fort, I guess, but not looking great for Kenan either. If you're playing these strays, I mean, again, playing for the most speed you possibly can, you do just want to play on 5RD, get all the strays possible, but one source of damage from wither skeleton, 2 hits from a blaze, he's also going to be dead. Could still be very close.
Oh,
There's
there's one
one,
hit.
two and a
There's one
half.
hit.
Yeah.
This
Does seem to
is,
be in a safer situation now, though.
yeah,
Um,
maybe able to hunger reset here, thank
Sitting in
God.
the spawner is crafting the anchors. Is he going to rip the hunger reset early? Might hunger reset early in the overworld to conserve
Explosives.
explosives. I think
Sure,
that's what
sure.
we're going to be doing here. Yeah, is an ocean portal, so a little awkward, but not crazy terrible. As Vstrid running back to the bastion, but has literally nothing. So gonna need to scavenge some blocks. I mean, other stuff very safe. Um, didn't die in lava or anything, and it is sort of close to where he's at right now. But again, this is what, maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes of time loss. That's just, it's not, you can't really come back from that. Gonna need a mistake from Kenan. Yeah, setting up the hunger reset here. There it is. So no longer a perilous situation. But definitely did take longer, right? That hunger reset having to deal with that. Vstrid does have food from these hoglins now. And with some really good strays, I could see this being a little closer. Wonder what they're looking for. Still have pearls, still a Bobby.
Yeah, it's definitely not over here for Vstrid. That was not like
Yeah.
the worst kind of death. You know, obviously not having to reset, having all of your pearls still, for example, not losing any items really is huge.
Yeah.
Probably saved 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Unfortunately, kind of going to chords though. Jumping in lava, probably gonna build the portal under the lava here. We'll see. I'm just gonna opt for the stack up as well. So almost an entire split behind. Kenan's the rods must have just went very fast, like rates wise, which is potentially good for Vstrid, but Kenan's gonna be in the stronghold, so we're gonna need to see a preemptive fail, a 0 fail, or something. Otherwise, this is gonna be Kenan taking seed 1 in the near future. Could be a preemptive fail. I do see mineshaft here, so is possible to get bad spike.
There it is, though.
But
Immediately.
not today. Has the pearls for 0, but not the pearls for Hunger Reset. Already look at this. 6.5 hearts. Wow. Anchor. That is interesting. That's a new one. I could not say I've seen that. That was cool. That was actually genuinely very cool. Wow. The water for 0 explosive like power
Oh,
falls off the end, but we're
thank God.
fine. That
Oh, that scared me.
that was awesome. And we're setting up for a front 0 after that hunger reset. No anchors on the bar, but still has 2. Gets there with a rotation to spare.
Yeah, I guess if you just have an extra anchor,
Should
why not?
be pretty clean here. Yeah, I think maybe 4 beds, 2 anchors.
Going for
5
the
beds, 2
bow.
anchors.
For
Yeah,
the
we're very
crossbow.
good. That's just a clean 5 bed, and
That was awesome.
yeah, nice end game from Kenan. Oh, Enderman
He's good.
aggro.
He's good. He's good. He's
Should be
good. He's
fine.
good.
Should be fine.
It's
Wow,
actually clutch.
half a heart. Oh my god, that would have been a twist and a half. But he's good. Win seed 1.
Oh
I
man,
was
yeah.
about to
Imagine
say
that.
what a clean end game, and then just Enderman out of nowhere because you know we have no audio and the in our ears, so you have no idea that you looked at an Enderman. Even like when do
Wow.
you even look at an Enderman in those situations? I never understood that. Granted, I have kind of unk status. I haven't hit a 0 in probably genuinely a year. But I feel like I never would have looked at Enderman.
I'm
And
gonna be honest.
I see it happen all the time when I watch rank streams. Like
Yeah.
people will do the build up on the bedrock, and there will be like 3 Enderman aggro, and I watched them 0. Like where I didn't even see them ever look at an Enderman. It seems like I don't know. Maybe the Enderman got smarter this year. Genuinely, it could be possible because
It
it
seems
just
very
seems like
inconsistent.
it seems like it
Very
wasn't a
inconsistent.
problem like last year, and now it feels like more often than not I see people having to hide in the fountain.
Yeah. That was a little scary for sure. I don't know. I feel like it's so inconsistent with the Enderman, but uh Kenan regardless is able to clutch. I like the play swimming into the water. That was a little spooky, but it scared me, but Kenan seemed in control, so that's good. And at the end of the day, we have a 1-0 to our qualifier player.
Yeah, I
Mostly due
mean,
to this to the death.
yeah, it was I think pretty close. Vstrid potentially taking the better terrain decision as well, leaving the bastion. Kind of did dig through the wall. Vstrid found that lower terrain with the hoglins with the food, but just didn't consider the skeleton on the side. Didn't take out that skeleton first before building up, and it was just 1 arrow. And Kenan was able to keep that lead. And honestly, very clean end game. Could have still won that seed even if Vstrid didn't die. That was the first time I've ever seen that anchor hunger reset. I was thinking what I see a lot is when you can't pearl, and you have fire res on, so you can't FNS yourself, you can gravel suffocate yourself. And like it's weird though, because obviously if you just put gravel on your head and you're standing in gravel, then your items are going to go everywhere. So you kind of have to like bug into a wall,
Right.
like in a way. And there's just a setup, and maybe Kenan doesn't know that. I don't know how to consistently do that, but I've seen people do that. So that's in my head what I think you should do there. But he puts the anchor in,
I don't know.
and
The
it's
anchor
like
was fast. I kind of like the
yeah,
anchor.
it's actually almost perfectly set up too, because the anchor, like the 1x3 of lava, like it was just perfect. Like he puts the anchor in the middle. There's a spot perfectly for the water to flow directly into the anchor once he blows it up. So none of the blocks, like nothing actually blows up. Like that was just very like a good heads up play, and just didn't need the anchor, so burns it there. That was
That
very
feels like
very
that
good
to me.
stuff.
That feels like something that Kenan's practiced, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it doesn't seem like you need to practice the strat much. Just more so
Right. Like see someone
know
do
that
it
it
once.
exists,
Yeah.
and be able to like be able to mentally think about that in the moment, right? When you're like, okay, I can't use pearls, can't use FNS to hunger reset. Like, what are we gonna do, right? Because obviously, going for the 0 almost a must in the bracket, in the ranked games, in the matches. So good stuff, and we're
Absolutely.
gonna see a village for C2 Nerdy. I mean, again, talk about this all the time, but does the C2 pick really matter? We do have to play all 3 like remaining overworlds anyways. Like this was either going to be village or room portal, and then the next seed is also whatever one wasn't picked, and we're going to have to play the seed 3 anyways. But there is some merit to winning seed 2. You do pick the seed if you lose. So if Vstrid thinks he's going to win village more often, might as well lose room portal and then be able to pick seed 4 when you can pick all 5, right? Because if you have the pick going into seed 3, it doesn't mean anything, because you can't pick anything. Like you're
Right.
just you're stuck on the 1 seed. So again, also at the end of the day, Nether is where most of the time is spent in the run. Nether, and then I guess endgame to an extent. A world, I would say, is the shortest split, unless your endgame is like absurd and it's like a very slow tempo overworld. So just more so like easing your way into the seed, and honestly maybe more of like a mental thing too as well. If you just see obviously the advancements, the like player information at the start, like knowing that you're in the nether first just could give you that confidence boost in the seed to carry it through, even if it's literally 2 seconds faster in the overworld, 3 seconds, something that really won't matter.
Totally. I mean, I think yeah. I don't know. As far as the seed pick bands, I feel for me the main thing is just the sort of I mean obviously the food, it does impact the run, but I feel like a big thing is just kind of the mental of it. Just kind of the comfortability of certain seeds and the uncomfortability of others, the anxiety that might come with a seed that you're less comfortable with in general, I feel like can
Mm-hmm.
impact not only the start of the run, but of course can influence kind of can kind of set the momentum for the run. I feel like, for example, if you enter first or second, at least in my experience playing ranked, it kind of makes you feel I don't know, it kind of like makes you feel you need to play a certain way. Maybe if you enter like a minute later, then you might want to play like super risky or something like that. If you enter like the exact same time, then maybe you feel like under pressure to go fast. I think it kind of depends on the sort of I don't know, maybe the predispositions of the individual, them as a person. But for me, I feel like it always kind of the more comfortable I felt in the overworld, I do feel like it's kind of set the tone for the rest of the run. Uh, if that makes sense, yeah.
100%. And as you were talking about the big mental game in rank, Kenan did just kill the golem. I was gonna ask why he did that, and then he started to craft a bucket, and they just realized he had a bucket in his hotbar. So Kenan wasting maybe 15, 20 seconds on this golem kill for nothing. So Vstrid's going to be in the nether first by somewhat considerable margin on this seed, and we are on the bridge bastion. So 2-minute flat chalice Kenan going to be in the same spot here. Actually, slightly better on a tree instead. That is RNG for you. But going to be mining that chalice. Pretty standard route from both these players. Let's see what bridge route we're going to be doing. Potential for a golden apple crafts as well. We do have double, triple, so a lot of options. Vstrid has to dispatch this Hoglin. Could give Kenan a little bit of that time back. Nope, Kenan dealing with the same Hoglin. Actually burns a Piglin as well on the way, so going to make the Donkey Kong route potentially a little bit worse. They are both opting for it. Kenan actually looking for a little bit here on the triples. Maybe didn't get a chance to see them from the chalice.
Beautiful. And there
Yep.
we have Vstrid.
Classic Donkey Kong route coming out from both players. Gets it started, the trade's a little bit slower, obviously, than something like your classic right side triple, but the amount of piglins, especially in ranked, when you're trading 16 gold blocks, definitely makes up for that time, because the more gold you have to trade, you want more piglins, right?
Right.
To be able to get through it faster. Like, I don't know, if you're trading maybe 10, 11 gold blocks in sort of any percent idea where you're either going to high roll or you're out, then maybe in the seed, it's correct to play that right side triple. Get those trades started earlier, because you don't want to wait around in the Bastion. But in ranked, right, maybe that 20th obby doesn't come till that 16th gold block.
Right.
So you need all those trades, because if you don't and your opponent does, you lose. So Donkey Kong route, very smart play from both of these runners. So going to be seeing the same, or at least very similar results from the Bastion from both of them.
And we've got some pearls here for Kenan. We've got some pearls for Vstrid as well.
Yeah.
So they could leave theoretically on this amount of pearls, but definitely a little bit risky to do so. So hopefully we'll get some more.
Yeah.
And there's some more. And there's the obby. So
Yeah,
probably
Kenan
leaving
definitely
soon.
could leave. Maybe only 1 or 2 fire res, but yeah, I think he's just out. And this is very interesting. Much faster. Actually, not much faster, because Vstrid just fully out as well. But definitely save the overworld time that he lost. But I think, Nerdy, what I'm noticing is Kenan didn't get one of the food chests in the village. Vstrid hit one of the double chest or double bed plains house, sort of the long one with the chest.
Right.
There was 7 bread, 2 apples or something. So
okay.
Vstrid has food, Kenan doesn't. And I think that's going to be potentially very big if Kenan has to hunger reset once, maybe twice. I mean, has good health now, so could potentially get the rest of the seed done with just 1 hunger reset. But we'll see. Yeah, huge magma cube on top of the spawner for Kenan. Not what you want on low food. Down to 4 hearts now. Not looking good for Kenan enjoyers.
So many magma guys.
Double blaze bed from Vstrid. Fully clearing out this spawner almost.
That's interesting.
I mean, you have the beds from the village. Bed.
Oh, I
yeah,
guess
if you have the beds from the village, it is just correct.
Well, I saw Kenan's POV here. I think less explosives, but
yeah, I mean, he didn't hit that double bed house, so Vstrid also grab those 2 beds there. There's your double blaze bed.
Boom. Yeah, it's kind of like you were saying with the obby. If you don't grab all the gold blocks, you might not get a 20 obby. I wonder how much of that applies to the beds. I mean, obviously it's not as impactful necessarily as 20 obby, but I feel like having enough explosives for 0 is really, really important. So I wonder how much of a misplay it was to not get too many beds.
Yeah,
did he not get any? I don't think he got any. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think
he does have 1 yellow bed. I think he just
one yellow. Okay.
Yeah, didn't route the houses nearly as well as he could have. Right. Obviously missed the food chest entirely.
I see the yellow one now.
Maybe missed out on a bed or 2. But that's the big difference maker in this seed right now, is the fact that Vstrid's looking great on food situations. Still 6 bread, and Kenan's gonna need to hunger reset twice.
I feel like it's also gonna be important how far it is.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's like a 200 blind, and then he doesn't
Yeah.
rip a bed here and just rips it in the stronghold. But any hunger reset now, and then any pearls thrown,
True.
it just means he has to hunger reset again before 0. It does look close though on Vstrid's calculator, 3-digit number. Kenan throwing 2 eyes though, so even more time loss, potentially a break as well. Going to be no break, so we are good. But yeah, hitting the hunger reset early has the pearls for it this time compared to last seed, but it's time loss now, and it's going to be time loss later in the portal room, and it might just be too much time loss as Vstrid's heading to second portal chords right now. See where he tries to dig down with this basalt terrain. Just
Pretty
sending it
close.
here. Yeah.
So that's definitely good for Kenan enjoyers. But that being said, Vstrid is just probably going to be in the portal room here soon, or at
Oh
least
yeah. Oh
the
my God.
stronghold.
Kenan 123 blind apparently, so much closer on this.
Oh, is he just gonna? He's just gonna go for it.
Yeah, I think
He's
he
worried about the
apparently
smash.
in chat tried to break his portal with lava bucket and it didn't work. But Kenan is just digging down, I guess. So much better spawner. So I mean, honestly, is gonna save time here. Yeah, and it's just in the stronghold right now because Vstrid had to dig down in the basalt. So like,
Right.
doesn't even save time on having better nether terrain. So huge variance from Kenan working in his favor. And here's the portal room. Doesn't dig into it though. But here's Silverfish, very, very confident. Trying to look at the subtitles here, but I don't see Silverfish hisses on them anymore.
Oh,
Is that the wormhole? See some lights? No. I think he's trying to dig to lava as well. Oh, there it is. Wow, fully clips through.
nice.
But in the portal room first, I mean, still has to do this hunger reset. Vstrid finds it though. Very close potentially.
Look at this.
Both runners have to
Vstrid's
craft eyes at the same time. Oh my God. And the mechanics from Vstrid, this is 1 or 2 seconds.
I think Kenan has a little bit of stream delay. I think Kenan entered first. Okay, yeah, Kenan entered first.
By like half a second, you're right. I do see in chat. That is true. Oh, Vstrid clip. That's so bad. Behind. Can't get the height. Kenan has bow crafted as well in hotbar for double bed situations.
We saw him do this last time.
It might be over for Vstrid again.
I think Kenan wins. Unless he messes up.
I mean, Vstrid's 1 rotation higher, maybe? So unclear with the stream delay. Double bed from Kenan, though. That might be it. If the height's good. Double bed from Vstrid, though. With the stream delay, I don't know. I don't
know who won. I think Kenan wins this. I think.
I don't know. I actually have no idea. I don't know how delayed Kenan is.
He's delayed.
Oh my God.
Wow. I guess she just went higher. Vstrid just went higher, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was the same, which is crazy because, I mean, we're gonna have to look that back in the analysis. I don't know, like, because Vstrid got stuck in the wall or in the cage. So
that's why I'm confused.
How could he have went higher and then Kenan had the bow for the bed extension, but Vstrid just ripped 2 beds on the last turn to get there, and so like was able to equalize Kenan's double bed with a double bed of his own, and then I don't know how
they must have entered. They must have entered like within a second of each other, I think.
I mean, yeah, like was basically the exact same time. You're looking at the splits here, was 1 second away, but the timer thing says 0, so maybe like ticks, maybe 5-10 ticks at most. Yeah, that's crazy. Literally was down to crafting. Like both those runners crafted their eyes at the same exact time in the portal room. Like in the portal room, in the middle, place the gravel in the middle, stand in the middle. But yeah, I mean, I think Kenan just spent too much time like doing inventory. Maybe Kenan threw a bad pearl too. I was like very like zoned in on Vstrid on that cage situation, but I just don't know how Kenan doesn't get higher than Vstrid in that situation. Especially like you look at the chat, like not like obviously you're reading it, but you definitely just see it as you're purling. Like you know your opponent's in the end at the same exact time, and then you know that you have to play aggressive on the zero, and Kenan just couldn't get it done through Vstrid clipping. Just crazy.
I just don't understand. I don't understand. I thought they both 5-betted, and I thought they both 4+1. I don't know. I got confused. I'm confused. I'm officially confused.
That's okay. We're gonna get the full up analysis segment here in just a minute once all the clips are there. Again, after every seed 2 and every seed 4, we do get to look back on things that we potentially missed, things that the runners potentially did correctly, did wrong, things that improve on, stuff like that. Your analysis segment. So looks like we are ready to throw it in there. First of many this weekend and next weekend. Gonna throw it over to Fulham with our made-up match analysis.
Okay, hopefully that one works. Good morning, everyone. I apologize. Had a little bit of an error there with my microphone. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic time at the start of the ranked tournament. It is seed number 3 is going to be upcoming, and we are 1 seed apiece in the Vstrid versus Kenan start. I am super, super excited and happy to say that this has been a very close match so far, as you guys have seen. I'm here to do some analysis and explain some of the parts that may have missed our commentators' first glance. Of course, that does happen. These guys are having to watch 2 screens at once, and I'm going to try and be able to pick up the pieces in those points. Let's talk about the very beginning of seed number 1. Let's throw this back to when Vstrid and Kenan were in the overworld, grabbing their buried treasure. If my audio is desynced, I will simply do this, and I hope that that helps for the next 15 or so seconds until we can get that fixed. Kenan, unfortunately, had a little bit of a slower island leave, but another reason as to why he was delayed into the nether was this. As we can see, Vstrid notices that there is magma at the bottom of this ravine, but instead decides, rather than to take an attempt to go down here, you can see that there is indeed a magma source just at the bottom of this ravine. Rather than going down here, he decides to believe that it's fake, and Kenan instead decided to go for that ravine initially, losing him around 10 to 15 seconds in the overworld, allowing Vstrid to get a little bit of an advantage into the nether. And was Vstrid able to use this advantage to continue on during the seed? Yes, at first, especially as we see Kenan struggle ever so slightly in the Bastion after grabbing the second set of gold, opening up all of the pigs, actually going for the chests and also an overlap with the Pyre, looking for this fortress using the pie chart in the bottom right corner over here to try and find exactly where the fortress is going to be. And this instead caused him to come across a little bit of an issue, getting ping-ponged by a good few piglins here and running very low on food and low on health, blocking himself in very nicely in this location to be able to heal back up, but it was a pretty close one. So a very nice save there by Kenan. Someone who also made a nice save during this seed was Vstrid, after being ready to leave the Bastion, heading down on the Bastion, not through fault of his own. Unfortunately, trying to parkour up here and getting shot down by a skeleton, using a pearl to clutch and not dying due to fall damage. However, that does leave him on only 3.5 hearts with no food remaining. Checks the backup food chest, and as we all saw, this was the main important part of seed number 1. Trying to gather these hoglins, but getting shot off by a skeleton in the meanwhile and getting meleeed. This did allow Kenan to take a substantial advantage into the fortress and into the stronghold, where we saw one of the most unique hunger resets that I have ever seen. noticing that there is 1:30 left on his fire resistance, meaning that we're not able to use the flint and steel that we see in inventory slot 9 because of this fire resistance over here. This is going to cause him to have to come up with something else, and with a lack of pearls, wanting to be able to make sure that he can hit every kind of zero cycle that could be thrown at him in this end, he did what I've never seen done before. With 8 explosives, knows that he can burn one, or 9 including the bed that he may have placed. I don't know if he's placed it yet. Uses a respawn anchor and water to be able to explode himself without blowing up any of the surrounding blocks, nor exposing a lot of external silverfish. A really heads-up play, something that I've not seen before, and after a very clean zero cycle that we are about to see him finish off here, with a crossbow zero as well that I did see him practice substantially before the stream. He does look at a little Enderman there. We can see it very, very slightly in the distance. I can't put this down onto super low speed, but I can definitely slow it down ever so slightly. We can see as he throws this pearl, he does slightly look at the Enderman just in the distance, and we can see the Enderman get angry here. I believe that he notices, so that as soon as he enters this portal, places the water, runs away from the Enderman, gets hit once, putting him down to half a heart, leaps into the water, and is able to swim and wait out the dragon kill animation, which is fortunate, but also, I believe, very skillful. I believe that Kenan did know exactly what was happening during this end fight, and was able to place that water down tactically and just about survive. I think that was a very smart play by Kenan, and he was able to see out this seed, not take a death right at the very end there, allowing Vstrid back into the game. Instead, able to kill the dragon and enter the portal with a substantial amount of time to spare. The only slight scary thing was by the end of this time, we did notice that he was on just one bubble of health remaining, so he may have had to swim back out if he got any longer of a death animation from the dragon. Nonetheless, he was able to take seed number 1 very easily after the Vstrid death. And in seed number 2, something that our commentators did very helpfully pick up was in the overworld, we noticed that Vstrid actually grabbed the double house as well as this single bed, allowing him to do not only a double blaze bed setup, but also grab a good amount of food in this no hay bale, or at least very lacking in hay bales, village. We can see here, grabbing this house, grabbing a substantial amount of bread, 8 bread, 2 apples. That's enough food for the entire run, without having to pick up any hay bales. And while one player makes a very heads-up play in the overworld, one makes a substantial mistake, almost making a second bucket, realizing that that golem kill was unnecessary and a time loss. A little bit of an unfortunate one, meaning that Kenan was around about 15 seconds behind going into the nether. However, he was able to catch up this time during the nether, and as we noticed towards the end of the run, they were both tied going into the end. As we can see here, the splits are immensely close. These guys both just a second or so apart on entering the end here. Now, these players both trying to hit an amazing, try and hit a zero cycle that's going to be quicker. And we notice that at this point in time, they are very, very close. However, one thing that's substantially different is the fact that Kenan does have a little bit of stream delay. I know we can't really see it. It is a little bit blurry down here. 9:45 is the time on Kenan's stream, and 9:48 is the time on Vstrid's. So it does seem like Kenan has the advantage here. But I believe that Vstrid is able to crank up and use one less explosive. Now, let me double check that, because I am pretty much watching this for the first time. Gets the earlier bed off, I believe, and then has the dragon down so low and is able to kill the dragon with a double bed right at the end there without using the crossbow, and is able to substantially kill the dragon earlier, which is really, really important, because it was simply around about a second within those 2 dragon deaths. And it is really, really close. The well-known replacement for GG within the chat, the Not Quite 9 Lives achievement once you have indeed killed the dragon. And as we saw, with both dragons dead, Vstrid is able to get the credits rolling just a few ticks earlier. Probably around about 1 or 2 seconds within it. It was immensely close. But we are 1 seed apiece. Vstrid, Kenan are in their best of 5. Now we have our final pick for Kenan here. No choices, only 1 pick can be remaining. And then the bans are going to be opened back up. I'm going to send you guys back over to the other 2 commentators into seed number 3. And yeah, I will see you after seed 4 if there will be a seed 5. Best of luck and enjoy the rest of this match.
W analysis as always. Again, Nerdy, one of many after seeds 2 and 4. Maybe we'll see another analysis segment this best of 5, very possible. But yeah, just looking back at that 0, just one less explosive, right? One saved 1 rotation, and that was all the time that Vstrid needed to make up the slower end enter and the cage situation. So very good stuff. Like Fulham said as well, I mean, we can look at the seed pick ban screen for a second here, but it is just going to be a room portal seed. That is just the one overworld type that is left. So very exciting stuff. Could be a very fast seed. We've seen sub 8s in the ranked playoffs before off of room portals, so could potentially be very, very fast here. But very important seed, basically is a best of 3 at this point. Both runners have won 1, need to get to 3, so basically 0-0 first to 2.
And all we need here is a stables for this to be perfect. Rune Portal is my favorite, and then stables is my favorite. So
we did have a stables seed 1, and both runners almost died.
Is it a stables in the background there? I can't tell. I think it might be. Wait, no, that's housing.
No, it's definitely housing.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I thought maybe it was double, triple, but no.
There it is. We have a notch. We have 6 iron. Don't even need the bucket. Some sheep for food potentially. I mean, a little close to the water here, so that's kind of annoying. But Vstrid gets 2 of them. 3 of them very quickly. Oh, 4 of them as well. That sheep, amazing wander. So perfect food for Vstrid. Kenan, pickaxe and shears. Doesn't look like Vstrid's going for the shears play. Getting an abundance of wood for blocks. A little too far away from the tree to do shears. Yep, commits to axe and pickaxe. Maybe realized there for a second that no shears was the wrong move. But Vstrid's going to be in first, barely. Gold block on the ground as well. Is Kenan going to grab that? Yes. So we got a 1 minute overworld enter. Very close pace-wise now for both these runners. And we do have the Bastion. I don't know if it's stables, Nerdy. It was a pretty big spike, but it looked to be like it's treasure. And yet we do see the back of a treasure. The Vstrid is approaching.
Right.
And the fort just in the background to the left. So no Pyre necessary. No scuffed treasure issues there. And this is where these blocks from Kenan might come in handy. I mean, Vstrid does have the wood here, but Kenan entering the Bastion different way as well. I like what Vstrid's doing better. Don't have to cut to the side. You know, you're directly on the bridge using the Bastion terrain. But no, 1 pig for Vstrid on this bridge, 2 pigs for Kenan. Where did they all go?
We've got. It looks like Vstrid's just a bit ahead here.
Yeah, and this could be a very, very fast seed. The fort was, I think, maybe. I mean, it was visible heading to the Bastion. I just don't know if it's 1 pearl away, 2 pearls away. Not entirely sure. But the only thing that these runners have to look out for here is food management. It is just a couple mutton and the notch. And the notch is great for not dying, but it doesn't, give you that much hunger relative to like one pork chop or even one golden carrot. It is just 2 hunger bars, and it's not the best saturation. So we will see how these runners manage their food. They can dodge hunger resetting. It'd be very funny to see like you eat the notch for 0, like you're in the portal room, like 2 hearts, 4 hunger bars, so you just have the absorption hearts for the 0 if the runners can save it that long. We'll see.
And let's see here. I mean, I don't know. I do wonder if that food for Kenan will really pay off here. I mean, obviously there is a notch, right?
Yeah.
So
Vstrid, I
that's
think, does
good.
have a couple mutton too, and
Oh,
the
does
thing
he
I'm
have
noticing
mutton?
right now,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, 5
5
mutton. Never
actually.
mind. It's actually more mutton. Okay, my
Yeah.
mistake. I apologize. I just assumed with no mutton in the bar. Uh, in either
19
case,
obby from Kenan. Do we have enough for 20 though? I think we
18
might be, yeah, we might be
Vstrid.
fully out of backups on 19 obby at both these runners in the exact same situation here.
I almost wonder if is home portal really that bad here? I feel like it's right there next to the fort behind
Oh,
us. Oh, that's
Kenan
not good.
takes a lot of damage. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of time loss, right? You just one bad pearl, but it's more so the damage in this situation.
Right, right, yeah, of course, because Kenan's now below on food. I was thinking like Kenan. Oh man, Kenan's so ahead on food here, but no, actually Vstrid is the one with the all the food saved up.
Yeah. Oh, Bane of Earthrod's 3 and 7 gold in the chest. Don't need to mine any. Kenan grabs that as well. So definitely going to get 1 obsidian from this gold. And both these runners are going to be out. There it is. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, home portal definitely like was a play, and the train getting there was good. It was 1 pearl hang away. I don't necessarily hate forcing the 20 obsidian because I guess it's just like what you think your opponent's going to do also, so it kind of reduces the variance. But this
Yeah,
could have been a good home portal seed. Definitely could have been a good home portal seed in terms of just the proximity there, being able to leave without going to lower treasure.
bam.
But both these runners at the same spawner. Noticeable difference here, though. Kenan ate the notch early. So is he going to be able to keep this health and hunger throughout the seed for the 0? I mean, what is that? 6.5 absorption hearts? So definitely possible to not have to hunger reset. But that's only like 3 pearls. I
Right.
think, like, what does the resistance do for a pearl? You just take 2 hearts instead of 2.5. So
Yeah.
I think 3 pearls is potentially fine for him.
I'm not. I honestly don't even. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just have no idea.
I know resistance is like 20% damage reduction, but I just like it's always so weird because like certain damage types don't like get affected by armor, right? Like
Right.
fall damage. So
I feel like
I
fall
just
damage might be one of those things because it's under
it
like
is like
protocol.
I
But I
just
don't
don't know if
even know.
that applies to like resistance as well. I'd be pretty confident that you take 2 hearts only from these pearls, but
Let's see.
who
Let's
knows?
see. We'll wait and find out here.
We'll watch Kenan look at his health, but Vstrid has 6 rods. Still has the notch and is still on full health with 1 mutton to spare as well. So good food situation there. Is pre-crafting everything for the 0. That's interesting too. I think it's definitely correct to do it there because you do have to, maybe overlap crafting some gold picks as well. But pre-crafting early means that your splits from like stronghold to end is just going to be faster, right? If you're
Mhm.
if you're like front loading that crafting,
Yeah.
and maybe you're not saving that much time doing that, but you're potentially like giving your opponent less like time to be confident, if that makes sense.
No,
Like
no. I think there's
if you
definitely
can
some truth to that.
have that split go so fast. I mean, again, I don't know how much it really matters because you are just it is just a single player like experience at the end of the day, but
Right.
could matter. Like if you think you can be a little faster or like a little like slower, more careful in the portal room if you're ahead, but then suddenly you're not because the opponent has everything pre-crafted there, everything set up. But both runners heading to chords. Noticeable difference too at food situation. Again, a seed where Vstrid doesn't have to hunger reset because he still has a notch, and Kenan will have to. No food left and not enough hunger to hit this 0. So, I mean, even though Vstrid's at 4 hearts right now, gonna be able to eat the notch and just go. That's literally 15 hearts of healing, and it's just in there. So,
Man.
even if Kenan hits the instant nav, as long as Vstrid hits the 0, it's just gonna be over.
Oh,
But Vstrid gets an unfortunate pearl clip
going
and is going to
for
go
back.
for a side setup now. Yeah, so opens the door a little bit if Kenan can get to a top setup, but I think Vstrid might just be in the end a little too fast for it to matter. I mean, beds are already getting off here. Kenan might not be able to make the
Yeah,
time
this
back.
looks like it should be GG.
Yeah. And Kenan committing to side setup as well. It is top 103, so very hard to get there. Vstrid gets it done.
Good stuff.
And yeah, it's
Scared me a little.
honestly a little bit. Ooh, Kenan's dead anyways on the 0. Not able to get the KB on the dragon, but that's it. Vstrid gonna take a 2-1 lead here. Nice clutch on the 0. Awareness to still be able to get to that side setup even after missing the pearl clip or missing the first pearl onto the tower. Good stuff. A sub 10. It's what we like to see.
Beautiful stuff. I mean, I feel like just overall good plays from Vstrid throughout. Maybe messing up the pearl was not ideal there at the end, but just some good stuff overall. Entering 8:36, finishing with a sub 10, not bad at all.
Yeah, and I mean, literally, you're just looking at these splits here, and it's sort of fortress experience, right? Entering the fortress at about the same time, and the hunger reset also doesn't matter too much. Looking at the splits, only 4-second difference in the stronghold from both of them. It could be a little bit due to Nav as well, but Vstrid saving all his time in the fort. I mean, literally just saves 13 seconds, but that's all you need. Going into the 0. That's if you're both zeroing, you both hit the 0, you only need 5-10 seconds, like no matter what, even if you're one bed short or miss a double bed there or go one rotation later. That's all the time you need for the 0. So
Yep.
Vstrid's able to take seed 3 off of that and puts Kenan in a must-win situation for the next 2 seeds. Otherwise, our first qualifiers player of the day will unfortunately not be moving on to tomorrow.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it is possible though. Kenan's still in this, I believe. I mean, obviously, I wish the best for both runners, but I do always kind of have this like, I don't know, maybe bias towards like I would like the underdog to win when it comes to especially people coming from the qualifiers, because I think it'd be really cool if a qualifier player won the whole thing. But so Kenan's still in this, Vstrid is playing very well, but Kenan, if you're like me and you like rooting for the underdog a little bit, then Kenan still has a good chance here. We've seen 2-1s, we've seen 2-0s go to the
Reverse sweep, yeah.
loser. Yeah, so 2-1, it's it can go either way still.
Yeah, and one thing in Kenan's favor is he does get to pick the seed out of all 5 seed types. It's gonna pick Buried Treasure, the one seed type that he's won on today so far. Maybe very confident, just in those overall mechanics, able to think that he's gonna get to that Buried Treasure chunk faster than Vstrid, crank the crafting faster, find the magma ravine better. That's just got to be what's going on in his head, because doesn't opt to pick Vstrid's pick ban of Shipwreck, and obviously isn't picking the 2 seed types that he lost on. So we're going to see a second Buried Treasure seed in this best of 5. And Kenan's going to need to win it if he wants to keep his playoffs chances alive. And I like you said, Nerdy, I think it's very doable. I think Ken has been playing well today. I think Vstrid's been playing well today. I mean, granted, if you do objectively look at it, the only seed that Kenan won is one where Vstrid died, but that seed 2 was within 3 seconds, if not less. And seed 3 there, I mean, Kenan did choke the side setup 0 at the end, but was entering the end within 15 seconds. So very, very close. Just, maybe one decision needs to change or one something or other, right? Just very small things that can make the difference here. But
Can he do it? Thoughts?
can he do it? You think he's ever heard that
sorry.
before? No, it's okay.
Sorry. I had to go for the pun. But I believe.
Okay. I've never heard that before. Maybe he hasn't heard that before.
I feel like that's a unique one.
Very standard crafts from both runners, and as I say that, Kenan actually opts to craft shears and dig down for stone axe. Let's see what Vstrid does here. Kind of like that play does as well, actually, yeah. Because you have the diamond sword, stone axe isn't as big of a deal, and no TNT, so block's pretty crucial. So I like that play from both the runners. Didn't immediately stick out of my head. Was very, the easy decision to just craft a iron axe there. But both the runners opting for the shears, and Kenan is off the island a little bit faster than Vstrid. And finds the ravine, seems to be as well. Kenan committed to this spot. Vstrid committed as well. Is going to be a real ravine. So very standard overworlds from both the runners. Kenan, I think, is a little bit ahead here, but not by much.
Yeah, it's always a little bit hard to tell with the stream delay. I think yeah, Kenan's behind by or ahead by one, or behind. Sorry, behind. Yes, behind by 1 second or 2.
No, I think that stream delay did get pretty caught up. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think at one point it was 5 seconds or something. I think now it's more 1
Yeah.
or 2 seconds.
But Nerdy, this is a stables. You love stables.
That's what I like to see. The best bastion, as we all know.
Very fast gap aggro from Kenan.
Oh boy,
he's good though. That was actually very good movement in that gap. Dodged a hit that it looked like he was for sure gonna take to one of those piglins. Just a little bit of swerving. But look at this. Vstrid up on this triple instead. So interesting decision making already. Very varied from both. Very varied. Very different from both these runners. Ooh, Vstrid barely gets a block in the way there. Another stables, another damage heavy bastion for both these runners already. And Vstrid, zombie pig in the way. In that mid, can the piglins push through? This is a very, very, very delayed trade start for Vstrid here compared to Kenan. Kenan already has stack of pearls. Yeah, no more gold left to trade from Kenan. Down to 4 gold only. But this could be where, clutch there at the very end, honestly. Had 17 pearls, now has almost 30. More than 30. 2 stacks, yeah, wow. Very clutch from Kenan. I was going to say Vstrid was going to be in a very good spot there, having the extra 4 gold blocks from the gap, or from the triple. But Kenan's trades clutch at the last second, and he might be able to leave this bastion significantly faster.
Right.
Due to not going to this gap early, but he still has to go here for some obsidian and has to handle these piglins. Vstrid has opened significantly more chests in the bastion, but they might both be running into the same obsidian issues I guess, I mean, Vstrid does have more gold blocks to trade. So is possible. Vstrid has 18 obsidian. Kenan has 15. And home portal is close, but you do obviously want to always have 20. If you can.
Look at
Look at
this.
this. Yeah, Kenan's doing straight trades because he has 19.
That's hilarious.
Vstrid has 20. Kenan gets to 20 off the
Wow.
spare piglins.
I love it. I don't know. It felt like. Am I crazy? That felt like a very high risk play. Because if you only had like
you
5
just have
to get
you just have to go for it though. One obsidian away.
Yeah, I guess you just don't have any more gold. Yeah.
Yeah. But he gets it. And these runners are somehow entering the fort at like the exact same time after completely different like ways to handle that stables bastion.
And that's why I love stables. That's why I love stables right there. Is
You love stables because you can do completely different things and it's irrelevant, or
well, let me explain. The reason I like it is because
in this
can
case it
do-
was
you
irrelevant,
don't-
but it could have
you don't-
been a decision maker.
Well, yeah, no. It's just the most every runner plays it a little different, you know? And I like that.
I did like that. I mean, if Kenan didn't clutch that 20th obsidian, it could be a very different situation. You know, I think he's still potentially at gold to trade the gold blocks in the triple, but would have been a bad look. And Vstrid on 5 rods didn't get those strays to drop. So a little unfortunate, but the Blazers were there. And because, I mean, both runners do get the same rates and same spawns from spawners, does give Vstrid a little bit of an edge there in terms of, you know, I think he might be ahead of cycle. But Kenan on 6 rods and is able to leave first. Or I guess second a little bit, but Vstrid needs 1 more rod. So I don't know. I think Kenan might be in the lead as well. Has 2 pork chop from a stray Hoglin. Vstrid doesn't. So the food situation actually not favoring Vstrid. Rare in this best of 5. Oh, and Vstrid falls off the portal. Has to hunger reset here as well. Kenan has all 6 rods, so can just leave. 2 second portal cords. We could be seeing a seed 5 nerdy. Very possible.
I mean, Kenan's just well in the lead. I don't know. I feel like we have seen this situation before though, where you know Kenan's a little bit ahead and then Vstrid makes it up at the very end. So
yeah, Vstrid heading to cords now at the same time, so only maybe 15-20 seconds behind, but if Kenan hits the preemptive, that's all he needs. It's a very weird wormhole in the stronghold that just happened, and Spike is now back the way he came. This could get ugly with the Nav. He's going backwards, back to starter now. This could get ugly with the Nav if Vstrid gets a better spike. Lots of creepers for Kenan. And no portal room.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god. Okay,
it's damage though. You do need to eat to heal it for the 0. He's got the apples from the chest though.
I swear he just threw. I swear Kenan just threw away.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's the portal room. Ran past that earlier. Vstrid
and there we
also
go.
looking for it, but I mean, Kenan's just there, and so if he gets it done, he's got 5 beds and 1 anchor, so not the best explosive count possible, but it is still possible. He's going to go for it.
Good stuff.
Gonna be getting to 95 here. Tournament life on the line, Nerdy. You choke this 0. It's over. Oh, and that is a disgusting first bed, and second is not there as well. That might be it.
Oh man, this is not looking good.
Oh, he had 6 beds and 1 anchor. Okay, miscounted in the inventory. Might be fine.
Oh,
yeah, he does.
He's got to hit. He's got to clutch this.
Oh, watch the health though. Half a heart. Watch the health. He can't blow this up. Fade away.
He goes for it. It doesn't work.
I think he missed, though. I think he missed. Wow. Couldn't insta-kill the dragon there. Half a heart. Was going to take any form of damage, even if fully blocked by Obsidian. Was going to take half a heart. So it's now onto Vstrid, has at least 50 seconds to burn on the 0, even if it's successful. Kenan has to chase this down, but needs to get these cages down. And look at the dragon health. Even with 1 or 2 crystal explosions, it's not going to die. So gonna need to chase it down. I mean, you need to get this hit while it's healing here. Gets it.
Okay.
Vstrid is zeroing right now. Kenan has to get the bow shots. It might be too late, Nerdy.
I think it's
Vstrid dragon already on half health. Has 2 more beds, 2 more anchors. That's those trades from the gap gold, and it's over.
It's perching too, I think. It doesn't matter.
It's just over.
It's just over. There's the north.
Yeah, the purse from
Kenan.
Kenan. Yeah. But Vstrid gets the W, and Kenan literally half a heart away from sending us to a seed 5.
Oh, wow.
But that's crazy. That's his lead from the bracket. Genuinely half a heart as well. Like, if you're able to shoot that crystal, feet blocked by the crying Obsidian, take half a heart, dragon is for sure dead off of the connected damage. I don't know a better term for that, but like when the crystal's healing the dragon, you shoot the crystal, does damage to the dragon. But has to hesitate because realizing he will die off of that shot. I don't think the fadeaway would have killed the dragon, but
that would have been awesome.
It's a great thing to go for, and honestly, it might have killed him because.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking too.
Then at that point, you're getting into fractional values of damage, right? I don't know if he was that far away from the crystal, if he takes less than half a heart but still gets damage tilt shake or whatever. I don't know. But he missed the crystal, wasn't able to get the chase down. I mean, if he hits better crossbow shots on those crystals, dragon paths a little nicer, could have bowed that down before. I mean, was literally, again, maybe 15-20 seconds away from finishing that seed off of that perch. So was almost a clutch, but wasn't able to get it done. And that's going to cement Vstrid as one of our 4 players today that moves on to tomorrow. But again, we can throw it over to the bracket. We don't know who Vstrid is going to play. Vstrid does not, what it visually might look like at first glance, does not go on to play Automat. Vstrid is now one of the 4 players that has won their match today and is one of the 4 players that gets to be picked by the round 2 players as who they want to play tomorrow. So we won't know who Vstrid is playing until the end of the stream today, once we have all 4 of our winners, once Manji, Automat, Beef Salad, and Ral get to choose who they would like to play. So Vstrid's going to have to wait till the end of the stream to figure that out for himself as well. Very interesting stuff. New format we have for you guys this season. Should be good content, should be a better matches, and that's the whole goal, to try to create the best playoffs winner possible.